Make some noise for Khalil, man. The only host I know that ever read my bio and then gave another speech. I love that. I ain't never seen that before. First time here, Poetry Unplugged. Good evening, class. No, I'm gonna need you to talk back to me. I said, good evening, class. Now, perhaps I should conclude the night by telling you that I am bilingual. That the Queen's English that I speak so eloquently before you now is not my first language, no. My grandmother never used such diction when she spoke me up in the welfare line amongst the other dwellers. Or when she called down to me from the project window for dinner, no, we spoke a more southern fried English. This rhetorical recipe has been in my family for generations, Grandma said. Big Mama hid it under her tongue when she headed for northern cities doing a great migration. See, scholars call it African-American vernacular English, but my guys, they call it slang. The man calls it Ebonics. I call it America's Creole. The last remaining squad birthed from a European and African pidgin turned into the dialect of the doughboys. The bass that appears in the rappers' rhythmic rhetoric spoken everywhere from the trap house to the liquor store. From the HIV testing clinic to the bus stop, Ebonics is the official language of the undefined black culture. The native tongue to the underrepresented black American, and long before I received all those degrees and stood unopposing in academic settings, I was born on the south side of Chicago and managed to garner up enough street cred from the School of Hard Knocks to qualify me to teach you all a few of my language essentials. So hipsters and all the people who gentrify in the huffs, this is Ebonics 101. Chapter 1. Any English word that holds an I-N combination with an I becomes an A. Like Billie Holiday couldn't sing, that girl could sing. If Martin did all that walking, I wonder if him feet stank. Traveled all the miles just to hear freedom ring. I wonder what he was thinking. Chapter 2. Any English word that holds an O-R combination with an R sound becomes silent. Like Emmett screaming, don't beat me no more. Like Rodney screaming, don't beat me no more. Like Trayvon asking, what is you following me for? Chapter 3. Any English word that holds an ER combination with an ER becomes an A. Like in the great quote from the linguistic scholar, Miss Lauren Hill. And even after all my logic and my theory, I add a motherfucker so you ignorant niggas hear me. See, there's culture in these words. The bended back of my speech comes from years of carrying the black experience. The verbal diaspora of Africa shakes my spine. We cross our T's with the middle passage, dot our I's with strange fruits, curve our S's with mid-Atlantic groups. You cannot expect us to be slaves to your phonetics forever. And just like our history, we will defy the structure of your Jim Crow grammar. Refuse to speak within the lines of your Mason-Dixon diction. You cannot correct this, context this, connotate my accomplishments. See me be black, male, use double negative to make positive. I will write into the black story no longer subsists. I will write into the clenched pen synonymous with a clenched fist. I will write into the black and males able to live, be, exist. Class dismissed. Cleveland, make some noise. We acclimated. I said before, I am Stephen Willis. I always say I am when I introduce myself. I always try to make a definitive identity statement. I never say my name is, I never say I'm. I always say I am. When I was a child, my uncle said, what did God say to Moses at the burning bush? I am that I am. He said, that's right. So be careful what you say after I am. Be careful not to desecrate the name of God. So I always put the name that was given to me. I encourage you to try that when you introduce yourself. Say I am. People totally just address you differently. Like catches them off guard. It's really cool. Now, me being who I am, I feel like it's really, really important to tell y'all something. This is the most important thing that I will say tonight. The political times that we are living in are not normal. I'm going to say it again. You heard it from me here. The political times that we are living in are not normal. It's not normal for a president to act this way. It's not normal for a Supreme Court to do this. This is unprecedented stuff. It's not normal to have ICE doing what they do. And I just want to tell you, the political times that we are in are not normal. According to the Oxford Research Encyclopedia, more than 300 police dramas have aired on American television since 1950. The boom coinciding directly with America's political appetite for law and order and a media glamorized war on drugs fact. In order for any black male entertainer to unsuspiciously enter the homes of white audiences, he must first be willing to play a cop on TV. Never mind how unlikely this is. For him to be typecasted as cop before convict, this is entertainment. And you are no longer black, but blue. Before Bill Cosby became America's favorite TV dad, he was Alexander Scott, secret agent in the first accepted black face in primetime white gaze. 3 Emmys later, he will use his I Spy money to purchase Spanish Fly on the Wall and become America's most famous peeping Uncle Tom a year. After wearing red jumpsuit on DC stage, Eddie Murphy was in Beverly Hills investigating the murder of a white man the Detroit PD wouldn't. And that's all it took. From SNL's Stevie Wonder skit to badge, baton, blockbuster, boom. Gangster rapper Ice-T traded in his Adidas that squeak for a pair of boots worth licking. America's first OG, now NYPD, now the lifetime story on how the man who wrote 6 in the morning became 12. 30 years later, Ice Cube will bring Kevin Hart for a ride along. And for a 90-minute runtime, we will all forget the scene, fuck the police, Sean. And Marlon Wayans will be a cop and a white woman simultaneously. Yet remarkably, the coon Terry Crews would be the only nigga to get shot. Sean, I'm gonna say it again, Sean and Marlon Wayans were a cop and a white woman simultaneously. Yet remarkably, the coon Terry Crews was the only nigga to get shot. Martin Lawrence and Will Smith will save the city of Miami 4 times. But in the collective conscience, we will know them as the bad boys. Denzel Washington will get his highest nod from the Academy when he was willing to show Ethan Hawke police training the right way. Don't you get it? This is war by propaganda. Turn your favorite black radical into officer friendly. Give them a seat in middle class white America with a budget the size of a buddy cop film. Whitewash you in blue blood. Convince you Kamala Harris is Claire Huxtable. Make enough fresh princes. Oh, you said rewind? Convince you Kamala Harris is Claire Huxtable. Make enough fresh princes of the prison system and see Clarence Thomas was always your real Uncle Phil now. Give Abuelita 20 more seasons of Law and Order. Replay it on the nightly news. Tell her Dick Wolf wrote it and that these heinous crimes are all true stories. Y'all good? Y'all with me? I fuck with y'all. You know, this is a spoken word event. This is not, Shakespeare. Even though that's not fair. Shakespeare, the truth is, Shakespeare and them was rowdy. Like, they were rowdy. The truth is, he was raunchy. That was a party. Like, that throwing tomatoes at the stage, that was them. Right? But this isn't an academic poetry reading, though I am an academic. So if you hear something you like, you can say, ooh, there you go. You can say, ah. You can say, what? You can say, word. But my personal favorite from the greatest TV show of all time, Flavor of Love. If you don't know, it's on YouTube now. Check it out. We call it the Black Bachelor back in my day. It's brilliant. You can say, wow. decided to write a poem in the voice of my mother. Syntax, point of view, language, imagery, tone, and sound. These are the 6 elements that every poet manipulates in order to bring their audience to a desired emotional end.
Come on with it.
In poetry, we defy grammar rules and alter syntax in order to make meaning. In general, we place the most important word at the end of the line. Consider this poem about my mother's opioid addiction. My mother has relapsed again. Here, the emphasis is on the word again, meaning this isn't the first time. Meaning that my mother has made a game out of restarts and do-overs, and I'm starting to run out of patience. I'm considering editing the line. To relapse again, mother? A variation of the question I asked the night I found the pills. Just 2 halves in a whole, but still too many milligrams for one body to take, hoping that this clarifies for the reader who has been taking care of who for all these years. In a previous draft, I start the poem, I have relapsed again. You know, as a way to shift the point of view, try to see it from her perspective. Try to understand how she could leave me to be raised by my grandmother. Prioritize men over me and my siblings. Smoke up the money meant for Christmas and school clothes. But even my most imaginative self can't seem to justify her choices besides. My mother would never be that literal in her language. She fiends in the figurative. Hides behind her metaphors. Says, no, baby. Mama's not high on fentanyl. She just took a swim with the blue dolphin. Says that at this big age, she'd rather shack up with hillbilly heroin than be caught dead in bed with a white girl. Now how that for image of progress? The same woman who I saw stand at the bus stop, stand at the crack house where her children stood at the bus stop now has a hierarchy of high. Prefers what's prescribed over merely pushed. Oh, good for you, mother. See the shift in tone. See, as a child, my mother always told me that tone can't keep a secret. That it will always reveal what the speaker feels about a subject, and the same is true when we write. You can hear it in the diction. That's why I call you mother. It's formal, yet distant. I left mama in versions of poems where I loved you. Mommy in versions of poems where I begged you to love me back. And in those same poems where I found sounds to mimic my weakness. When I wailed and wallowed and worried about you. Found all the alliterations of assonance, all just for asking why, mama, why? Was it for the poems? Since you couldn't be my mother, you'd rather be my muse. And maybe that's it. Maybe that's how you start a poem. Y'all with me? I said, are y'all with me? All right, cool. Like I saw y'all faces gradually get sadder as the poems went on. Y'all was like, yeah, he buying it. Like, okay, it is a lot of cops. Like, and I was like, oh shit, his mom? Like, wow. So that's, I promise. It's all good. Death. Battle raps the MC. Check, look. Scott the Rock took 2 to the head top. Head hit the dashboard, Jeep scattered with blood drops. Lincoln Memorial Hospital in the Bronx should be considered a landmark, because on that fateful day we got our first murder in hip-hop. Then came D-Boy, C-Gram, Stretch, oh nigga, you look shocked. Young MC thought the killing spree started with Tupac. Now, death been here since sweatsuit, Reebok, since earrings, door knocks, since even before the re-rock that made you hot. So don't get your top split. Surefire way to make you a top hit. Switch your flow and balm influence, double your profits, loaded clips, return you to source shit. Well, that's as big as it gets. You can do it by 5 mics or being carried by 6. Let bullets hit your spleen. Only sure way that we can up your stream. Surest thing to make you niggas hustle, nigga, without the fiends. Shouts and screams from women in attendance soon as you hit the scene. But it's not because you a star, but how your face careen. Pump action Ponzi scheme, nah. Death is tried and true. Music, marketing, martyr you. Fuck bots or YouTube. Have a wake if you want some views. See, that's what death could do for you. Use Pop Smoke and Dolphins Truth. Drake could get you radio. I could get you nightly news. Front page, double XL or your local Tribune. Packed out, standing room only at your funeral. See, your artist and repertoire and Interscope could get you far. But into the scope of this A&R, I could make you a star. It's preposterous to think you be anything pre-posthumous. Death is ominous, but breathe life into a catalog's dead carcasses. Make gold out of your weakest shit. Death magician, alchemist. Before your cadaver molds, the compost will pack a compact disc. Nip tuck, chop and screw your vocals. Redub your ad-libs. Use a feature for the missing verse. AI for the outs and in. See, Mac Miller gave us the blueprint. Now it's Murder, She Wrote. Nigga, fuck a ghost rider. I'm trying to make you a ghost. And you should consider, bruh. Shelf life longer after death. Ask Christopher. You ain't moving no units while breathing, so what you living for? Cemeteries got more visitors than you got monthly listeners, so what's the afterlife to an outro? An autopsy to a blog post. An obituary ain't nothing but a whack rap like liner notes. The acoustics of a casket are the perfect place for a studio, and even Jesus Christ put his best verses on tombstones. You are not a god MC. Mortal flesh, both you and your mixtape leaf. You better up dropping DOA before you drop an EPCMC. My main concern is pine box or urn when you get hit with the strap. And watch the whole world mummify you with Spotify raps. Watch the whole world mummify you with Spotify raps. I watch the whole world mummify you with Spotify. Ode to the boys who die to make hip-hop happen. Before this poem's end, this wound will drain and expand, and my ceased heartbeat will bleed into an instrumental. Shame, I had to die just to get my life on track. I was dipping, caught slipping. Now my life's on wax, but don't feel sorry for me. The ops caught me hanging off the 9 and click, click, bang, bang. I was Chief Keef ad-libbed into the afterlife, but isn't that your favorite part of the song? When Bobby catches the body, if you listen closely, you can hear my body drop before the beat does. And no, we never intended to be the muses to the world's most popular music. Just got a feel for that shit. Us babyface savages already born notorious and ready to die and cute enough for album covers. The stork brings us wrapped in rags and parental advisory stickers. So here I am, God. A sacrifice for the culture. Ready for my soul's release date. To be placed on an eternal stream. To be forever laid to rest in a casket color cassette. I can hear it now. My demise gonna be the most requested at all the parties. Tell Big Mama her baby boy got his own hymn now. See, Mama freed the bass, now I'm the boom. Daddy sip the liquor, now I'm a bar. That's not no record scratch, it's just me. Ricky trying to crawl up out this casket. Ricky trying to unzip this body bag so I can join Biggie, so I can join Nipsey. I said I can hear them now, cause I can hear them scream. I'm a hit. Some shameless pluggers. Number one, I got books with me. The award-winning, I don't put that in the bio, but the award-winning of Peculiar People. By the way, my debut book, for Bud and the Peculiar People, was voted the best book of poetry by Black librarians. It's better when your people tell you that your stuff is good. So it's really dope. I got to accept that award in my hometown. It's dope. So I only got 5 of them Johns. Only got 5. So it's like first come, first serve. That $25 I'm gonna sign for you. Be cool. Also, you can follow me on Instagram. You can follow me everywhere but home, truthfully. Stephen Willis Poetry, that's on Instagram. Instagram's the best one. Please don't follow me on Facebook. I'm only on Facebook because my grandma will be like, I be trying to see what you doing. I don't know how to work the gram. So, like, whatever. I'm only on Facebook on that. If you follow me on Facebook, I'm going to be highly upset. But definitely follow me there on Instagram. I also am doing a poetry workshop. I just started my own company called the Active Voice Writing Series. Make some noise for that. From soul poet to soul proprietor, fuck with me. And basically the Active Voice Writing Workshop series is a series that I've been doing twice a year since the pandemic. And I realized, like, yo, why am I giving my time and intellect to anything other than what I want to do, which is poetry? So it's a 5-week series where you come in and you learn about spoken word and learn about poetry. And each month is a different one. So this being the inaugural one of the company, is the basics of poetry. So syntax, point of view, language, imagery, tone, sound. Like you heard in my thing, how to write a poem. You sign up for it. There's 2 tiers. You got a premium tier, which allows you office hours with me. I edit all your poems. We do one-on-one FaceTimes. Then you got the regular tier where you can just come to the class. So it's something super dope. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll be able to find out. Cool? All right, I got time for one more. The one that if I don't do, no one will ever forgive me. But many, many years ago, in 2016, I was at a feature in Boston, Massachusetts. Portia O invited me out at Out Slam. And at the time, I was very early in my career, and I would do something called the culture set. Culture, where it was interactive. The crowd would yell out something like, music, and then I would have a spoken word poem about music, food, and I do my grits poem. It was great. It was an amazing time, right? And then this particular day, the lady was like, rituals. And I was like, oh shit. I ain't had nothing for her. That was really tragic. I was like, well, rituals. And so I went home, very highly upset that I, had been got. And I was like, man, what are rituals? What rituals could I talk about? And truthfully, most rituals are connected to what people do for how babies are born, how they get married, and then what they do for their dead. And so I wrote a poem called How the Hood Loves You Back. It's probably that's the one, right? See, White Chaos, I can't not do it. It's my most famous poem. We can close tonight with that. Y'all good? Yeah. I watched a group of men pour malt liquor in the cracked throat of pavement in the name of eulogy. Then packed the back of a stolen jalopy strapped with black market arsenal and intoxicated vengeance. I scanned the nightly news in anticipation of hearing gunshots protrude the silence of a Chicago summer night. They did. And I left the porch light on for them. Now, I'm not saying that I agree with what they did. I'm just saying I've learned not to judge a people for how they grieve. Learn not to judge the hood for how it loves you back. Love from the hood. An honor only bestowed on those who showed the hood the most unwavering of loyalties. I'm talking street niggas. Most literally from cradle to grave. Most literally from corner to corridor. Yeah. Most literally niggas who hug the block in their last moments gasping for air. Right before yellow tapes make a spectacle of their bodies sprawled on cement. If the hood loves you, she'll make a monument of this location. They'll bring teddy bears, well wishes, and heavy hearts. This is now sacred ground, to be renamed as memorial and landmark. This is no longer Jefferson Avenue, but where Twig got shot. For the next 6 nights, you will see candles like this space holy, until the wind blows its silence, until the ember is blown in the direction of the summer's next casualty. If the hood loves you, she'll write it in tombstone text. A boy's face and childhood nickname will be written in script across a double XL white tee. Ain't it funny how quickly death becomes fashionable? A testament to how tragic memories don't fade. Even in a washing machine, you can expect Your closest to kin to tattoo your name in the most visible of places. Your birth date and Roman numeral will kiss the left side. Your little sister's collarbone long before a boy ever does. In grief, we graffiti murals. That's how Biggie and Pac got faces in places that they never called home. I know boys who were boiled away to pallbearer long before the rigors of college, but the most famous of us will have streets named in our honor. Martin Luther King Drive and Malcolm X Boulevard both debunk the myth of respectability and proves that no matter the politics, all black boys are doomed to die by bullets. But how can you complain when the hood loves you? And we gonna keep loving you long after the gravel has swallowed your portion of the 40. Long after they pack that car with vengeance. Long after another boy's life is taken in retaliation of yours, continuing the cycle of trauma and street violence. Yes, y'all, the hood will love you enough to murder for you, but never enough to snitch. Yes, y'all, I know who did it. I was there when they bought the 4/5. Yes, y'all, I watched the news. I listened as they emptied the clip. And yes, y'all, I'll do it again. Yes, y'all, I'll do it again. I'm telling you, I will do it again because I miss my brother so much. But that don't mean that I agree with what they did. It just means that I've learned not to judge a people for how they grieve. Learn not to judge the hood for how it loves you back. Please, I appreciate y'all.